For centuries, the fierce Jemaya, women warriors blessed with extraordinary powers, have protected the mighty kingdom of Meramara. But when an elder daughter denied the throne, kills for power, everything unravels. A sisterhood broken, their magic stripped away, their kingdom defenseless. A brutal coup follows. The first ever king seizes the throne and his reign of terror begins. Rebellion simmers in the shadows. Zaare, a runaway slave from the land of the half-beings, is captured by Lord Badri, the king's ruthless commander, and soon she becomes his forbidden lover. But when the monstrous half-beings, part human, part animal creatures, launch a devastating attack, only one prophecy stands between Meramara and destruction. The sound of distant screams seeped into the stateroom of the Grand Palace in Vodika City. King Ogakan lay on the floor, dead. Finally, the tyrant's reign had come to an end. Zaare and Badri stood, back to back. They had just finished dispatching the remaining palace guards. Suddenly, a massive, grotesque half-being with glowing red eyes stalked into the room, its fangs dripping with blood. Almost overcome with fear, Zaare and Badri stared at the creature. Instinctively, they started to run away, trying to escape from the room. It blocked their exit, eyes strained on them, a look of ferocious glee. They remained in one spot, frozen in place. All the blood seemed to have drained out of their bodies. The half-being tilted its head and whispered to Zaare, "You, I know you." Badri exchanged a wide-eyed glance with Zaare. With inhuman speed, the half-being lunged. But in the blink of an eye, Zaare vanished. Badri halted in shock, his eyes widened. He'd just seen her disappear. The beast screeched, skidding to a stop. It sniffed the air, confused. The half-being growled in confusion, its head jerking from side to side. Then, suddenly, Zaare flickered back into view. Her hand grasped Badri's wrist, and he too faded into nothingness. Still trying to process what had happened, Zaare and Badri fled the palace, still holding hands. They slipped into the shadows amidst the dead and the dying, flickering from solidness to invisibility whenever they spotted half-beings roaming. Zaare needed answers, and there was only one person who could give her that. But first, Badri had one thing to do. They stopped by his house. It had been destroyed. Badri found her. Too late. Turafa, his wife, lay lifeless, bloody and broken. A half-being's work. Her once deceptive lips were now frozen in silence. No time for grief, no time for anger. Badri buried her remains quickly. Zaare and Badri fled the city, the palace walls behind them, the shadows of the city closing in. In a cave nestled at the bottom of the red cliffs, the air thick with the scent of burning incense and sacred herbs, the dissidents gathered in groups around bonfires. Shadows flickered over the faces of warriors, leaders, rebels. In the middle of the foremost group, Chief Hakanabu leaned forward. His voice was low. His face was green. "The axe of Shangan," he said, glancing from one engrossed face to the other. "Forged by Yahagi, taken by the one who rose, hidden on the island of the half-beings. No human may enter that land and live." He tossed a look at Zaare. Silence. "But you are not just human. Your blood is the blood of the great Queen Alusha and the Jemaya." Zaare stiffened. What did he mean? Upon their arrival at their new hideout, Zaare and Badri had wasted no time in telling the wise old chief Hakanabu all that had occurred in the palace. It had taken her by surprise. How? What in Yahagi's name had happened? She had been frightened by the half-being and had only wished with all her heart to escape him, for him not to see her. And it had actually happened. "You have the gift, the power of Yahagi," the chief said, heart beating so loudly that she thought everyone could hear. Zaare asked, "Is it the gift to turn invisible?" "No, child," the chief answered. "This gift is more than invisibility. It is limitless. You are the only one who can retrieve the axe." Suddenly, thunder rumbled. Zaare stood up and her fingers tightened into fists. "Go with Yahagi, my daughter," Chief Hakanabu said, his eyes wet with unshed tears. The thought that she would have to enter the lair of their terrible enemy broke his heart. Zaare took a deep breath. This was her destiny. No one else could do it. With Yahagi's help, she would destroy the half-beings and save her people. Zaare rushed out of the cave before Badri or anyone else could follow her. Zaare moved through the bushes unseen, her steps silent on a rough forest trail. Behind her was the gleaming Njabi River. Black waters crashed against jagged rocks. The memories came flooding in. Once she had called this island home. Here, she had been nothing, a nonentity, a shadow, a siren. But tonight, she was a hunter. It was a safe bet that the one who rules, the king of the half-beings, would be commanding his troops in Miramara. He lived for the thrill of a fight. Under the silver light of the moon, Zaare snuck into his lair. The dank, dreary house of stone and wood loomed above her, seeming to glisten with dark magic in the moonlight. Zaare was a ghost in the night, invisible, untouchable. She walked the halls of her enemy. A few half-beings, monstrous and silent, patrolled the halls. Most were in Miramara, feasting on human flesh. Her heart pounded like war drums as she reached the sacred chamber. Then, there it was, on a pedestal of bones, the axe of Shangan, golden, glowing, waiting. As she lifted it, a gust of wind howled. The guards turned. The axe, it moves, a half-being guard yelled. in the half-being, animal-like language. Something strange was at work here. Zaare slid the axe into her tunic and dashed out of the house, her feet slapping against the stone floors. "A stranger is among us," another cried. "An invisible enemy." Immediately, spears were raised and arrows knocked. They fired. Arrows flew, sharp, fast, deadly. Zaare's heart pounded. She couldn't keep running. The half-beings seemed to be everywhere, coming at her from different directions, tracking her with the sounds she was making and with her scent. She paused. "Think." Zaare closed her eyes and remembered Chief Hakanabo's words. "The gift is more than invisibility." She took a deep breath and leaped. Her feet left the ground. The arrows sailed past her. She soared in the air. The wind bore her upward, above the arrows, above the guards, above the island itself. Then she flew away. Back in Meramara, at the top of the highest hill, Zaare stood, the axe of Shangan in her hand. She raised it to the heavens. Instantly, dark clouds rolled. The wind howled. A storm began to rage above her. Thunder roared in the heavens. The earth trembled. Lightning cracked across the sky. It answered her call. A bolt of lightning crashed down, striking through her, surging through her body. The energy exploded outward, a river of lights descending upon the land below. The kingdom of Meramara erupted in blinding lights. Lightning pierced through each and every half-being, just as it had done to the Jemaya many years before. The half-beings roared and twisted, burning from the inside out. One by one, they fell. Then, silence, smoke, ash, emptiness. Meramara was free. The drums of celebration and victory echoed through the golden halls of the palace and across the land. Zaare, dressed in a flowing robe of deep indigo and gold, her crown, adorned with rare gemstones, stood before her people. "Queen Zaare, great mother, conqueror of the half-beings," the people chanted her praises. These heroes stood by her side: Chief Hakanabo, Lord Badri, Lord Matakadi. All three heads were up, proud and pleased. The kingdom had been restored, the fallen avenged. A queen had risen, and a new age had begun. Past the lavish temple of Yahagi, inside the holy chamber within, the oracle, otherworldly and almost inhuman, shone glowing eyes down on Queen Zaare, kneeling before her. "Yahagi is pleased with you, my child," the oracle intoned. "You will have a daughter, beloved queen, granddaughter of the great Queen Alusha, but your daughter will not inherit the gift." Zaare glanced up, stunned. "You are the last warrior queen," the oracle of Yahagi continued. "This new Meramara does not need her gift for now. But One day, the power of the goddess will rise again. I accept the will of the goddess, Zaare said softly. The oracle smiled, nodded. Go now, beloved of Yahagi. The palace was alight with thousands of lanterns. Drummers beat rhythms older than time. Dancers twirled in garments of crimson and ivory, adorned with cowrie shells and gold. In the massive courtyard outside the main palace, Badri, his warrior's garb, replaced by the robes of a king, stood beside Zaare. She, queen, warrior, goddess in human form. He, the royal husband, her equal in battle, her equal in love. He lifted her hand. She met his gaze. The queen and her royal husband, the oracle cried out, arms raised, white robes shimmering. The crowd in the courtyard erupted in cheers. Together, they would rule. Together, they will face the unknown future. Zaare and Badri.